What is the funniest thing you have overheard in public? Was at ice cream shop and what I assume was an uncle and a niece about 8-ish years old. I'm standing there waiting for my family's order, and all I hear is, "Was it fun in jail?" from the little girl. Then uncle responds, teeth clenched, "I went to prison." I don't know why I thought this was so funny, but man, I was trying hard not to crack up. Kids are wild. I hope on everything I show up here. When I was a teenager, me and my brother invented a game we called Wasn't His Hot Dog. We thought the funniest thing was hearing bits of convo as people passed by, so we started saying the craziest one-off sentences we could to make the other brother break and confuse the hell out of people. The game-winning line and namesake went to my brother. As we passed a couple, he loudened his conversation naturally and said, "Well, after all that." It turned out that it wasn't even his hot dog, and instantly won the game. We play it to this day as men in our 40s-ish. The mall was our main target. We would play for hours. I hated her since she told Granny she hoped a Mack truck ran over her titties. I saw a dad putting his son, who looks to be about 2 or 3, in a high chair at a restaurant. The kid wasn't having it and gave his dad an exasperated look and said, "Am I a baby? Hi. Hey, baby?" 25 years ago, watching The Phantom Menace in the theater, when young Anakin first meets Padme, someone in the theater blurts out, "They are gonna fuck." Missed the next 5 minutes of dialogue after that. A little girl dropped her cookie in a restaurant, and to console her, a woman said it's okay, things break all the time. Like marriages. My family was trying so hard not to laugh. Walking down the sidewalk and get stuck behind some old ladies. We pass a bar and one of the ladies said I used to do so much cocaine in there, and they all laughed. A married couple sat next to my table in a pizza restaurant. They started to have a whisper argument about the dumbest of small things that they both hated the other person doing. He hated the fact that she couldn't make pancakes even though he hated pancakes, but had liked the option in case one day he suddenly wanted to try them again. She really hated the childish way he took his socks off when he came back to work. He would slide each foot back multiple times, as if doing a moonwalk without moving until the socks slipped off, and then head kicked them up. They eventually got so whisper mad from the others' comments that they stormed off out of the restaurant and walked away in different directions. I wonder if they stayed together or whether they had a whisper divorce. Anyway, they had paid for their pizza when ordering, so when the food came and I explained to the staff what happened, they gave me the food to take away. I was teaching a 5-year-old drum lessons at a studio, and I wrote the word rhythm on the board. Pointing at it, I asked him if he knew how to say this word. He stared at it for 5 seconds and said, "I can't read." Years ago, getting my married license at the municipal building in downtown Manhattan. Filling out the license form and the guy next to me blurts up mother's maiden name. "What is this? A test?" I'm in a game store. A couple walks in and SDRT looking at games. The girl says, "Do you really need more games?" The guy looks at her, nods toward the shopping bags she's carrying, says, "Do you really need more shoes?" The girl points to a game and say, "This one looks good." Amphitheater show about Native American battles in historical Ohio. During a very quiet scene, a guy 3 or 4 rows in front of us leaned to his side and ripped the most thunderous fart I've ever heard on the hard plastic seat. His wife slapped him upside the head and was horrified. Everyone around us was absolutely dying inside and trying to keep from LOL. Every few minutes, someone would remember and try to suppress their laughter, and it would set everyone else off again. I still LOL about that 15 years later. Dude, just singing "Better Find a Bathroom" before I shit my pants while skipping along at the botanical garden in Hawaii. We didn't hear it in person, but our dad caught it on our VHS camcorder and we wore out the tape rewinding it and laughing for years. Not really overheard, but I saw the first Paranormal Activity movie in theaters. When the first big jump scare hit, the whole place was silent. One dude a few rows down stood up, said, "Hell nah, I'm way too Puerto Rican for this shit," and then he just walked out. He didn't come back. Got a good laugh though. She took her seizure meds and rinsed them down with fucking vodka. A girl on my college campus FaceTiming someone. Overheard a conversation about people talking about rich people and weird foods, and eventually they started talking about oysters. One of them remarked, "Well, if you wanna eat boogers out of rocks, you gotta be rich." 2 random girls talking in a pharmacy parking lot in Vermont. Girl 1, "Is it big? Sorry for asking, I'm curious. You've been though this like 5 times already, and I never had to." Girl 2, "No, it's a normal size pill, and thanks for making me feel like a whore." She was asking about the morning after pill. Person 1, "Bro, I need to show you something." Person 2, exasperated, "What?" "My registration for the nut house." Leaving work one night, walking behind 2 women headed to the turnstile. One woman was saying how she wasn't going to put up with that sloppy Joe looking ass bitch anymore. I'd who they were talking about, but that woman was tired of her shit. Still one of my favorite random college memories. I was walking across campus, and it's a busy time of day, so there's a bunch of people on the sidewalks. There's a girl in front of me on her cell phone, and her conversation is very loud, and she's just going, "You know, I would never do that." I don't understand. I just don't understand. I didn't do that. I'm telling you, I did not do that! Exclamation. A guy just slowly riding the other direction on his bike, leans towards her as he's going by, and says loudly, "Yes, she did," and then just kept on riding past.